Hey you guys, welcome. It is time for the recap of Foundation February, so stick around and see what I gotta say. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Darla Rodriguez, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do that now. Go ahead. I'm gonna wait. Just click that little button. You can also hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. I wanted to say thank you before we, whoops. Before we get started, I did want to say thank you for you guys that wrote a testimonial for me. I really, really appreciate it. You know, we'll see what happens. It's the first Sephora squad, if you didn't know. It's the first Sephora squad, and I applied to be a member where I go to events, I get to try products, so it's kind of cool. And not kind of, it's actually super cool, but they've opened it up to just a wide range of people. And so if you did write a testimonial, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, now down to business. We are on the first foundation I tried at the first of this month was Vanish from Hourglass. And if you look back on my video, I don't think Ness is gonna post all of these videos, but they've been going on all month, okay? So if you go back to February, the first week of February, you will find the video on Vanish. And when I applied it, very tentatively and exactly like it said to do it, I did like it. And you'll see me on there saying, wow, this is really nice. Since then, I have worn it and I have tried everything. So they did not want you to wear a primer with it. My face is very dry, so that didn't work for me when I wore it. And even though I got away with that first day, it was all of these I kind of tried for the first time. The first day, even at the end of the day, I liked it, but then I've worn it since then and it's just not for me. It's not something that I will wear, honestly. It's too heavy. It didn't blend nicely. I like to wear a primer. It doesn't need a primer. And actually when I wore a primer, it looked worse. And then I even mixed some oil into it to try and thin it out a little bit, because I was like researching all of these celebrity makeup artists, like what do you do, you know, in a pinch when you're getting ready for the red carpet and you've got a foundation that's just not working. And I researched everything, and I have tried it multiple ways, no go. So there unfortunately is my recap on that. I know some people like it, not for me, you guys. On to number 2. So the second one that I reviewed was the Mega Cushion Foundation Wet n Wild. Oh my gosh. So I know firsthand, a handful of you, firsthand, quite a few of you reached out to me and said, oh my gosh, I tried the Wet n Wild and I love it. It is a phenomenal cushion foundation. It doesn't claim to have long wear. It's very lightweight. It has coconut water, super hydrating, easy application, something to just throw in your bag if you're on vacation. I think it's perfect if you're on the go, like anywhere on the go. For a night out, you know, like a special event, of course not. But for your everyday, just throw it on, even out the skin tone, and just have that nice glowy look. This was awesome. So this guy, for a mass brand, awesome, still love it. I've worn it since then. Great, great foundation. I suggest, gosh, it's a great foundation, you guys. Number 3, that is when I went to the Revolution foundation stick. When I was wearing it, I really liked it. Again, it gives more like it says kind of soft matte, but I liked the finish. It was more of a natural finish. I don't even think it was matte, really. It's more natural. And it gave good coverage. I wore it all day. It did an okay job, you know, for a mass brand. Let's, you know, put that in perspective. It did fairly well. And I did say on that video that I couldn't find if it was oil-free. It is not oil-free. So For me, that was fine because I am normal to dry and I don't have a problem when things have oil in them. If you do, I would not be going out and getting this because it does have oil in it. We did find that out. So that was the Revolution, Makeup Revolution foundation stick. That was episode 3. Number 4, we went for the Revlon Candid. And if you remember this one, it has great ingredients, really fights against any pollution, environmental damage. If you like see any commercials on this, they're gonna really point towards that. And it has great ingredients. This one, it was just take it or leave it, to be honest. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything I was like, wow, this did a great job. I was really excited. I guess my problem with this was when I applied it, because I did play with it on my hand prior to buying it, and I loved it. And so then when I got it on and I wore it, it just didn't meet that expectation that I had set for myself. That's why this one, it was just kind of you know, I love what it has behind it, and if you want to research those ingredients or if you want to look at that video that I did on it, I go into depth on all of these a little more about what they do, what's in them, what they're supposed to, you know, their wear and all of that. So that was Revlon Candid. Then our number 5 foundation, Marc Jacobs Shameless. Oh my goodness. The day that I tried it and then I looked at night and we did the you know, all day wear test, I loved it. I loved it the first day. I loved it the second day I wore it. I loved it the third day I wore it. I have given all of these a go, you know, since that first initial time on camera. Then I wanted to wear them throughout the month just to give a good, you know, again, we try products and initially we're so excited, I think, that of course you love it. And then by the third time you wear it, you're like, I don't love this as much as I did the first time. I love this foundation. It's phenomenal. And Marc Jacobs, you did a fabulous job. Love it, love it, love it. I'll be wearing this a lot. Number 6, L'Oreal Infallible. So this is the Pro Glow. This is the one that my friend had suggested that I try. She knows the type of foundation I like. So just if you guys are for the first time watching, I tend to go for more of a glowy foundation. I am normal to dry skin. You won't see me really trying a matte. It's not something that is complimentary for me. Not that matte foundations aren't beautiful. Matte foundations, I wish I could wear some of them. I just can't. So I reached for this. She recommended it to me. I got the Pro Glow. They do make this one in a matte. This is a great foundation. For the price, really, really nice. I like how it wore. It smoothed on super nicely. The texture is beautiful. Really nice foundation. L'Oreal did a great job. My last review was Teint Miracle, and this one really was not a first impressions. All of the other ones were. This one I saved for last because I have honestly used this foundation. It's probably my 4th or 5th bottle. It is a beautiful foundation. I still love it. I probably will be going for these two. I might even mix them. This one has a very high, luminous, lit from within look to it. This one's more of like a very soft matte, which was nice, and I was so glad I could wear it. That's why I'm so in love with this. It had some radiance to it, but this one, you know, Teint Miracle, Lancome, they have great foundations. This is one of my all-time faves, and I can't say enough about it. And you guys that have watched, you saw my video, you know I love it. I just wanted to recap those and let you know that I did give them more of a one-time wear. You know, really out of all of them, the only one that I just won't, maybe 2. There were 2 that I probably won't wear, and it will be the Vanish and the Candid. Candid was, I just feel like I had to work too much with it, and these, oops, the Infallible and the Candid were similar, except this has that glowy look that I like, and this doesn't. If I had both of them, you know, I'm gonna go for the L'Oreal. And then the Vanish, it's just not for me. It's just, kind of a bummer. I wanted to go over the price point. Why I'm really bummed about this was $56, and I used it once. No, I lie. This was $56 and I used it 3 times. So there's that one. The second one was Wet n Wild at $8.99, and it's a great price point for a great product. The third was the Makeup Revolution. This is $9, and yeah, I think that's a great price for the product. I don't have anything negative to say about that. That was good. The Revlon Candid, $10.99. It was okay. Marc Jacobs, $46, worth every penny. Love it. Then we had the Infallible Pro Glow. This is $12.99 from L'Oreal, and I think that's a great price for the product. Really nice. And Lancome at $47. And that's the Teint Miracle. So before I get into the conclusion, I know I've been talking a minute now, but my neck is still red. I've had a rough week, you guys. Honestly, my face is a wreck. Hence why I'm wearing all this. It's winter, so it worked, but I'm trying to cover up some welts. Okay, to compare, I had 3 prestige brands. I had 4 drugstore brands. If I have to put a comparison on it, do they both look great when you first put them on? 100% yes. They look equally as good to me as the other. If I were to put a prestige brand on one side of my face and a mass brand on the other side of my face, that first 30 minutes, you're not gonna tell a difference which one is which. That's where they're comparable. The differences that I see, prestige brands usually will have a trained person, and what I mean by that, someone that has been educated on the brand and can give you some insight of how it's supposed to wear, what it's supposed to do, some key ingredients. That's where prestige brands differ, because when you're going to the store and say you're hitting CVS or whatever, and you're picking this out, one, you're doing your own color match. You're just kind of reading and figuring out, ooh, I kind of like that, I kind of like that. But like I said in my videos before, you can't try the drugstore brands for the most part. There's a couple. If you go to Ulta, that is honestly the only place I know that they've started to make some testers, not all, don't quote me, not all, but some of them have testers. And so I was able to feel and see a couple of the drugstore brands that I purchased. That is the first difference, is one is gonna have a trained person that has dealt with the product and one's not. Secondly, their ingredients. Even though some of the drugstore brands that I purchased said, you know, some really nice ingredients, the main difference, what you're paying for, because a lot of people ask me, you know, do I really need to buy a 40 plus foundation, you know, $40 plus foundation? What I mean by that is they can say they have the same ingredients, and they do. But the potency of the ingredients, I guarantee you, is different. I deal with skincare, I deal with makeup, and yes, in order for a drugstore brand to even make it, they're gonna have to start using some ingredients, key ingredients, that are keywords: hyaluronic acid, coconut water, all of these keywords that have really come up. You're looking for that in a product. And yes, they may have it, but they don't have the potency that a higher end product has. And if you've used a higher end product, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's just different. I am not a scientist, but I do know that, you know, they may have the same ingredients, but they don't have the same potency. That's number 2. Number 3, and I feel like the most important, is wearability and sustainability. Every single drugstore foundation that I tried this month did not hold up in the wearability category. When I came back after 8-10 hours of a day, it was gone. It was just gone off my face. And they don't claim to do that. So again, if you're going to buy a $12 foundation, that's fine. And if you know it's not gonna last you as long as another one would last, then you're fine. You know, you always go in when you're looking for something, have your priorities. What are your expectations that you're wanting out of the product? If wearability is not one of them, well then who cares? Buy the $12 foundation. They look pretty, they just don't have that wearability and sustainability. That is why I feel like they last longer. And that is why they can say, this is a 24-hour wear. Transfer proof, all of the, you know, give you that glow all day. You're not really hearing that from mass brands, because why would they when they know it's not true? That's my little wrap up. That's what I have to say. You know, you guys that have tried drugstore and you've tried higher end, I think the majority of you would agree with me. There may be a few, you know, I love that little cushion foundation, but I'm not expecting it to give me a 24-hour wear. I take it for what it says it's gonna do. And then when I buy something that is a higher end product, I want it to do what it says it's gonna do. That's why I was so upset about the Vanish foundation. I wanted it to work, it just didn't work for me. I'm gonna put a link down below to all the videos. If you didn't get to see one, you can kind of choose which one you wanted to check out. I thank you so much for watching this month. It's been super fun. It's been eye-opening for me. You know, at the beginning of all of this, I had not tried a drugstore foundation in over 15, 20 years. I mean, and not because I'm snobby or anything. It's just once you find what you love, why would you leave it? You know, I know what I like, and I've found that market of wear, and I actually found a new foundation because that Marc Jacobs, it's gonna be with me. I love it. So we have another themed month coming up in March, so please stay with me and share if you like what you see. Give me a thumbs up, and we will see you in a couple days. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.